on those who were trying to adopt. How about this time we'll focus on the impact on the adopted? We're going to be answering so many questions. At what point should an adopted child be told they were adopted? Should adopted children go searching for their biological family when they are mature enough? Does the decision have an impact on the child's well-being as well as the adopted parents afterwards? And how has the nature versus nurture aspects of adoption played out in the adopted person's life? Do they see more of their birth family's traits or more of their adopted family's traits? At least for those who are aware that they were adopted, went looking for their parents, and were able to draw some form of comparison. Head on to X. Our X handle is at NigeriaInfoPH. And our Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 page. You get to watch me live, but most importantly, you get to be part of the conversation by dropping your comments in the comment section, which will be read in course of the conversation, right? And then, of course, much later, I'll open the phone lines and take your thoughts as well. But before we dive into the conversation in full, ladies and gentlemen, remember how we do it on the sunny side. 2 people get to win 25,000 naira each. Yes! You see, I particularly look forward to calling the winners every day. That is because I get to share in their excitement. Now, you may consider 25,000 naira not so much of a big money, but for some persons, the fact that they are winning anything at all, even if it's 500 naira, and they get to be told that they have won, that alone makes their day. Then when we get to Friday, we have the jackpot draws. Yesterday, one particular guy's enthusiasm it wasn't for me. I've never seen a guy so excited about winning money before. Now, you want to share in that kind of excitement. You want to listen to radio and still win something at the end of the day. This is for you. Head on to the website oneplay.ng. That's the number 1, then play.ng, oneplay.ng. Select Nigeria Info 92.3 PH and then buy your tickets with just 500 naira, because that ticket you buy is what qualifies you to be a part of the daily draws and the jackpot draws happening on Friday, where you get to win a part of the 2 million naira jackpot prize. Yay! Okay, so that's it. You can either go to the website oneplay.ng or you use the USSD code *347 *880 *6 hash *347 *880 *6 hash. Remember, the more tickets you buy, the higher your chances of winning. I am looking forward to who my 2 winners for today would be. Having said that, we're gonna quick little break, and then we come back. Conversation starts in full. Stay tuned.
It's natural to have different ideologies. We tend to see things from different perspectives. So, share your views on the sunny side as we make room for philosophical, ethical, and thought-provoking discussions. The Sunny Side, 12 noon to 3 p.m., Monday to Friday, on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the Sunny Side. Someone is asking, Denise, are you trying to downplay our indigenous love songs? No, not at all. Not at all. I don't try to do that. That was never my plan. Okay, so back to, where were we? Yes, the impact of adoption on the adopted. Some time ago, if you remember, I shared with us the story of a woman who reunited with her biological mother after a post she made on social media went viral. The social media username Lydia McNair took to Twitter, now X, and Facebook to share a photo of herself as a baby and revealed that she was adopted in the year 2001. She added that she is looking for her biological mother but hasn't been successful. She explained that the only information she has about her biological mother is her first name, Demonica. Her post went viral, and fortunately, her immediate elder sister reached out to her on Facebook. Now, while we were going through that story, being happy about their reunion, did we stop to wonder what was going through her mind all the while she knew she was an adopted child? Why do some adoptive parents keep that information hidden till something goes wrong? Or maybe the child finds out on their own, or there's some chaos and they need help, and then they now start saying, I'm sorry, I didn't want to tell you. The truth is that you were actually adopted. There are people who feel like they should never know. There are people who feel like, well, you could tell them, but you may want to be careful how you go about spewing that kind of information. And then there are people that believe that time will tell. But you know, right here, we are all about appropriateness, right? Some level of appropriateness, maybe not total appropriateness, but all things fair and equal. At what point should an adopted child be told they were adopted, especially when you did not adopt them when they were fully aware of themselves? You know, there are those children you adopt when they are babies. There are others that you get to adopt when they are teenagers. The list goes on and on. I'm asking this because it's naive to say that there are no effects of adoption on children. In fact, placement itself greatly impacts a child. For better, for worse, they will be raised by non-biological parents, with all the nuances that entails. The short-term adoption effects on a child can be wide-ranging due to the varying experiences that children have when they are placed with adoptive parents. And there's a great difference between a child adopted as an infant and a child adopted out of foster care during their teenage years. Now, question number 2. Should adopted children go searching for their biological family when they become aware that they were adopted, when they are mature enough to do so? Or, well, I'm with this family now, all is good, everything is fine. Because there's that tendency that when they discover that their parents, biological parents, are actually rich people, they're like, hey, so I've been suffering here all my life. They'll go search for the biological parents. And when they discover that, oh, where I am is far better than where I would have been, meaning the real parents, biological parents, are not well-to-do, they rather stay with the adoptive parents. Now, question number 3. Does this decision have any impact on the child's overall well-being, as well as the adopted parents afterwards? Once upon a time, this child was yours. And then now they say, hey, I want to know my origin. I want to know who birthed me. At least, even if they are dead, let me know where I'm from. Let me trace them. Let me find one person from that original family. And then finally, how has the nature versus nurture aspect of adoption played out in the lives of these adopted people? Do they see more of their birth family's traits or that of their adoptive families? Now, if you were adopted at some point and you are aware, how about you feel free to share with us on the Sunny Side today? If you have been an adoptive parent for a long period of time, you may also, even if it's a short period of time, you may also want to express yourself on this particular conversation. Remember, it's the Sunny Side. Let's talk. 0817 923 0002. Again, 0817 923 0002. We also have 0817 923 0003. That's 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 030-6416 on X at Nigeria Info PH, and Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 90.3 PH. Hi, Muriel. Muriel from Okrika, good afternoon and welcome to the sunny side.
Thank you, Didi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you too?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Oh, thank God. Coincidentally, Didi, today I was just driving along Borokri area with someone, and it was actually my mom. And she now saw someone, a girl, and she said, this girl was adopted. This girl is an adopted child. Just today, just 2 or 3 hours ago.
Really?
And I said, wow, the girl looks beautiful. She said, yeah, she is, but she's really giving the adopted mother headache.
Hey.
In fact, she moves around. She does everything. She abuses the woman outside. And I said, wow, what is just close to my mom? I said, wow. I said, then, but is it possible that she can return her? My mom said, no, why? And she's a child. But whether good or bad, she has become a child. So you don't just return them because they turn out bad. If a child turns out bad, it's your responsibility. That means you, the mom, and you, the person, whether adopted mother or not, you didn't do well. You didn't train the child well. So she has to bear it because it's a child. But it means the woman's relatives to get it prepared for the girl because they have seen that she's not taking care of their sister. Because the sister brought her so that at her old age, when she's sick, now that she's even getting old, that's when they want to see the girls, you have to reciprocate. Someone has taken care of you, but yet the girl goes out, she doesn't come, she abuses. In fact, I think she's waiting for the woman to die, so she inherits her properties.
Hold on. How old is this girl?
Yeah, she should be in her early 20s.
Whoa! And how long has she been with her?
From a small girl, very small girl. Tender. Should be maybe 2 years or thereabouts.
Okay.
So it makes sense because for me, I was just saying, send her back now. If he took her from an orphanage, then he should just, my mom said, no, that is the woman's responsibility to train that little girl well. So whatever the girl turns out to be, it is her responsibility, so she has to bear it. But we don't, even if it's a biological, we don't just throw them out. So a biological an adopted child is going to look for their parents. For me, I think they shouldn't. I think they shouldn't and that's why I don't like when you go to a person that you know to adopt a child because trust me, they will come back for that child, especially when the child is doing well now. They will come back whether they are rich or not. They will. Sometimes maybe 1 or 2 circumstances she couldn't take care of now. Maybe the girl is now married and doing well. She will come back for a child. For me, I think people should go to places like the orphanage or some where you know that person's biological parent is nowhere to be found. They can't be connected. They can't be linked. Otherwise, even if the child doesn't go, the parents knowing that it is you, except you relocated. But in this technology world, trust me, they try to locate their children. So look for someone you don't know. So whether good or bad, that child is yours. Otherwise, if you take from someone that you know, and the person knows that you are the one that adopted their child, trust me, Didi, there is almost 80 or 90% possibility that they will come back for their child. Yeah,
let me guess. Yeah. This particular girl who is currently misbehaving was at some point told she was adopted. Right?
Yes, she knows. Yes.
She's fully aware. Do you know at what point she knew? Do you know if it was as she became an adult or when she was younger?
That's what I don't know. Who knows? Maybe because she has now. Sometimes it could be psychological trauma, that is causing her, that is making her to misbehave, knowing that this is not her. Some things can touch her.
Probably the feeling that her real parents didn't want her. And it had to take this woman to take her in. Okay, I'm asking this because I'm trying to, compare this with a story I read about a particular guy who ended up, a young boy, I think he was not up to 16 or so, who ended up killing his his adoptive mother upon discovery that he was
adopted. There are some couples that maybe have waited for some time.
Yeah.
They're not the wife is not pregnant. They go and adopt maybe a boy. And later on, God start blessing them. Do you know that not adopted child, if he finds out that it's not, look at the Obi Kubana case now, if he finds out that it's not the biological child, do you know that, I've even heard of a case where the adopted boy, he's the senior, he was even claiming that he is the heir, you know, and he tried to wipe out the man's son just to be the only one remaining. So things are happening, Didi. But for me, I think whether good or bad, adopted child should be yours, and the parents shouldn't go looking for them, and they shouldn't go looking for the parents. Just accept where you are. But
accept where you are.
It is blood that runs in our veins. Some person just want to let me just know the face of my mother, even if I will not go back. You know, that mind is always there. It is hard sometimes. So I'm thinking of this thing.
Stay where you are. That is what Muriel says. Stay where you are. Ha. The curiosity in Denise will not allow me to stay where I am. I'm being honest with you. And I can understand that. The why, the how. It's a different thing entirely when you say, your parents passed. They are no more. But if my parents passed and they are no more, my parents had relatives, right? Why didn't people from my parents' family come looking for me? Why did I have to be with this person? And then when they say, we don't know the story, we just knew we went to an orphanage, we asked, we inquired, they said, they just found you at the entrance of this place. So you mean they dumped me? Is it that they didn't want me? And at some point, it kind of puts, I'm just thinking, it puts the adoptive parents in some kind of situation, because this person will become all emotional. And then at some point, you're like, after what I did for this child is not ungrateful. He's not even thinking of what I had to go through to keep him or keep her. Is the one that left them that they are more concerned about. Let's hear from Braid from OGRA. Hi, Braid. Welcome to the sunny side.
Good afternoon, Denise.
Good afternoon, Braid. Your voice is really, really faint. More like you're speaking, you're whispering.
Really?
Okay, I think it's a lot better now.
Okay, thank you very much. The truth is that the way and manner sometimes the adoptees disclose some certain things is also a source of concern. Yeah, sometimes when you have adopted the children, you adopt them at a very early age, which they don't know their biological parents, and they knew you as their parents. Sometimes the child will do some wrong thing. You this stupid child. In fact, I don't know what makes me to adopt you. I will send you back to wherever you come from. So the child will begin to have that feeling that, I did not really belong to this place.
Yeah.
The child will begin to have double thoughts. After when that child has grown up, that child will begin to pester you as such that you will not have any respect, any time for yourself anymore. They want to ensure that they stabilize it. They don't take them to their parents. And also, sometimes the adoptive siblings also has some questionable character when it comes to the adopted children, because they always want to let them know that they don't belong to that family. And you see some of the children that very observant, they will begin to ask people that are close to them, because this thing is kept in secrecy. They will begin to ask until some certain people will now reveal things to them that, look, please cover me. But this is how you come about to this family. At that point, you see that the child will always be having unruly behavior, will be having some kind of unnecessary characters. So sometimes for me, the fault is coming from the adoptees. How did you bring up that child? Did you bring up that child in love? Did you bring up that child to say, yes, this is way my biological child? Or you treat him as an adopted child? So let also the government also make out a very good, easy way of adopting a child.
All right.
If you go to the home to have a child, in fact, you're going to sweat. You're going to sweat very well.
All right, thank you so much, Braid. Victor from Rumukrushi, I think the network disconnected us at some point. I'm sincerely sorry about that. Remember, once again, we're live on X and on Facebook at Nigeria Info PH on all social media handles. Let me read this message now. The issue of an adopted child looking for her blood relatives may be as a result of the adopted parents mistreating the adopted child. Sometimes it's because after adopting, they now have their children through birth, so the adopted child will be an outcast. Sometimes they will tell the child to his face that he is an adopted child and has no inheritance here. That will make the child look for his original source of life. Obara from Ozoba. I doubt that. I doubt that it is often the case. Like I said, curiosity for some. I want to know. I'm not ungrateful. I appreciate all that you have done for me. However, let me know my roots. I'm not knowing because I probably want to go back to them. But let them know that I exist. More like to prove a point for some. Who knows? Nigeria Info, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hi.
Is this Nigeria Info?
Yes, this is Nigeria Info.
Okay, concerning what is ongoing now, the adopted children issue, is that what we are discussing?
That is exactly what we're talking about.
Okay, the last person that spoke actually did well because the adoptees are the major problem of this. Number one, before they adopt any child, they first of all, sometimes as a result of barrenness, and at the end they say, let me go and adopt a child. And at the end of everything, eventually, and along the way, God finally gives them a child of their own. And you see that the way they will begin to treat that adopted child will not be as with their children. They begin to isolate the child. The other children will begin to isolate the child because they will know that they will eventually know that this child is not their biological brother or sister. So I think the best thing to do is to treat children equally.
We're not even talking about the treatment. Hold on. We're not talking about the treatment. Let's assume that they are being treated well. At what point should an adopted child be told they were adopted?
Because it's like we are some mothers who say that my address has finished.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry about your airtime. Nigerian Info, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, DJ.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? You're welcome.
Yes, on the subject matter. Mine is that I want to ask a question. You are not so far from the society. I want to express myself now. Supposing, and anybody listening can also answer, one don't have, there was a delay in one having a child. They went and adopted a male child. And later in life, God bless them, they now have their own biological son. In a society like ours, what will you give that your adopted child the position of the apparent, or what we call in Igbo land, opera? I hope you understand. Because
I very much understand.
That are listening can as well enlighten me more. Will you give us to that your own biological, or that one you adopted before you have your own biological son?
You know, sometimes we overthink these things. Some people that adopt actually already have their own biological children. They do. So away from that mentality that, oh, for every time someone adopted, it's because they do not have their own biological child. What's the name now? Is it Angelina Jolie? What's the name of this? It should be Angelina. Is it Angelina Jolie? Yeah. She has adopted children and biological children. So this is what happens. They do some philanthropic work. Whenever they go to any place where, you have a lot of children who are, what's the word I'm looking for now? Well, helpless, in need of aid and help. Boom, they adopt. While some would want to have a foundation to cater to these children, these people decided, let us bring them. They would take our name. The only difference is that sometimes by the skin color, you can tell that nobody this person born me. There's another lady I know online. For her, she was unable to conceive. And yes, she went through the adoption route. And she's making content out of it. The girl is still very young. However, the girl will grow up and see those contents. And I'm sure by now, that child already knows. Now, sometimes, let me also clarify, it is not the adoptive parents that make these adopted children feel like they are not part of the family. Sometimes it is those who know. I'm talking the relatives of both man and woman. I'm talking friends and family. You just find out that the family of these adoptive parents will treat this child because that information is out there that this one no be them born am. My sister adopted Pikin. My friend adopted Pikin. The friend did not treat the child as adopted. The friend has not even mentioned to the child. But by the time the child starts seeing the treatment is different, and before you know it, you're talking in whispers, and one day the child eavesdrops and hears. How do you think that child feels? So they usually have a way of drawing the line. It's just like all of you go out, and then other children are treated differently. And you, because they all know, you may not know. And the funny thing is, you have accepted this child as your own. You cannot force these people to accept them as your own. Yes, they will respect your wish. Yes, they would, but there's not some consciousness that tends to make them say it out one day. Should adopted children go searching for their biological family when they are mature enough? Does this decision have an impact on the child's well-being as well as the adopted parents afterwards? And how has the nature versus nurture aspect of adoption played out in the adopted child's life? 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Okay, destitutes. Nigeria Info, good afternoon. I think this is going to be my final caller. Welcome to the sunny side.
Yes,
Emeka, welcome.
For me, if you have the adopted child, don't see that there's somewhere that I want to look to this family. Rather, whether my family has money or they don't have money, but rather go for my biological father.
You'd rather go for your biological father and mother. Okay. All right then. Whether they have money, they don't have money. Son Melody from Badako says, why should they be told that they're adopted? What is your reason for adopting them if tomorrow you will tell them that you are not their parents? Immediately you adopt, you automatically become the parent. So all things are passed away. What of those that want to know? You see, why should they be told? You're trying to play safe. You're not telling them. And then sometime in future, boom, they come up and why didn't you tell me? I'm sorry. You know how it usually plays out in the movies? At the end of the day, everybody will be all right. My final message here reads, Constance, good afternoon. My name is